Check 1, 2. Video on point. About to get this party started. Let's see here. How's everybody doing this Thursday night? This is going to be, I hope, well, I don't hope. It's gonna be, but it is. No, 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 no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Where are my beats at? Here we go. Let me kick one of my beats. Here we go. I think. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? If you're in the house, let me know. I want to wonder why. Susie Bear in the house. Susie Bear, it's good seeing you. We're gonna get this party started real quick tonight. Gotta change my glasses tonight. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Team Mama in the house. It's good seeing you, Team Mama. Yes, yes. Thirsty Thursday night. You better believe we got a lot to talk about. Yes. It's almost time for the warm up. You see he's in tap. So let's break it down like this. Here we go, folks. Now, y'all know about Chris Brown. Why do people try to make Chris Brown seem like a cool guy? I don't get that. I don't get that. Let me get that music real quick. Where is it at? Okay, it's done. Good. Yeah. But anyway, let's get this party started. Here we go. Here we go.
Part 207. The details of Chris Brown's 2009 attack on Rihanna are nothing short of disturbing. When Rihanna called out Chris for being unfaithful, an argument ensued that quickly turned violent. Chris pulled over.
Pause it right there already. The sad part, this is one of the most common reasons. Wait, I should move over here like this. There we go. Let's move over a little bit. There we go. Okay, good. Because I want to point at this. This is the one of the most common reasons why women are assaulted, because men, I mean, the women accuse something the men are actually doing. That's the funny part. But it just tells you how society in our community is like. Basically, um, they think a lot of men in the community and even some outside the community think that women are punching bags. And obviously black men do because we have the highest DV rate at the moment. So if a good way I feel for people to be, what would you call it? If you want to be more attractive to a woman, don't be violent. It's pretty easy. Here we go.
Over and tried to force Rihanna out of the car, but her seatbelt prevented it. So he slammed her head against the window and punched her in the face so hard that she started spitting up blood. Chris then started driving, but continued to punch Rihanna in the face with his right hand. At one point, he told her, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you when we get home, just wait and see." Rihanna then pretended to call her assistant, telling her to have the police ready for when she gets home. To this, Chris responded, "You just did the stupidest thing ever, now I'm really gonna kill you." He soon put her in a headlock and started biting her ear before applying pressure to her carotid arteries, making her slowly lose consciousness. Rihanna then tried to gouge his eyes in an attempt to escape, so Chris started biting her fingers. Rihanna started screaming for help, causing Chris to exit the car and walk.
Is that creepy or what? I mean, go buy his tickets. Go ahead. Go buy his tickets. Go buy his tickets. Go buy his tickets. This is the type of person you want to support. By all means, go buy his tickets. Just buy them right now. Just go ahead. Make me sick.
Home.
That means I'm doing something right.
Okay. We're going to break it down right here. It's not, believe it or not, me playing Chris Brown is not about Chris Brown. You know what it's about? It's about how people support people like Chris Brown. You let Chris Brown do this when you support him. You let him do this. You let him run amok. And there's people, the funny thing is I'm not done yet because you support, not only do people support people like Chris Brown, but a lot of you are like Chris Brown. Instead of getting, and then you have the nerve to blame the justice system. Now, don't get me wrong, it's far from perfect. But did you know that a lot of the times that men are going to jail is for beating up their girlfriend, their mothers, their wife, a random woman out of nowhere? No, that's why they get so mad at women, because the women turn them in. It's like, look, I've taken the last left, the last left jab from you, the last left hook from you. I'm calling 911. Miss Alto in the house. Good seeing you, Miss Alto. Good seeing you, Susie Bear, and good seeing you, T Mama. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
Which led to injuries that required hospitalization. June 14, 2012, a violent fight broke out between Chris Brown and Drake at the WIP nightclub in New York City, fueled by tensions over their relationships with Rihanna, with Drake reportedly punching Chris and hitting him with a bottle, and involved their entourages, resulting in at least 8 injuries.
Now, they're showing the stupid video they made together, but basically the fact of the matter is that he's always been violent. He is one of the most talented bandits you're ever going to meet. But that's just what he is.
bears the scar on his chin to this day from Drake's bottle throw. January 2013, Chris was involved in a notable incident with fellow artist Frank Ocean outside a recording studio in West Hollywood. The conflict began when Ocean accused Brown of taking his parking spot, and when Ocean confronted him, Brown punched him in the face. The situation escalated.
What, I'm wrong? What? Frank Ocean said this, got jumped by Chris and a couple of guys. That's the effed up part, is Chris is such a coward, he has to have dudes come with him. That's crazy. Not the talented bandit. Talent is one of the bandits' best weapons. Well, some bandits don't have talent at all, but we'll talk about them some other time. But yeah, check this out.
Escalated as two members of Brown's entourage reportedly joined in, jumping and punching and kicking Frank Ocean while calling him homophobic slurs. 2016, Chris Brown
that's it. A bandit will always call people homophobic slurs because they themselves probably have those feelings. Remember, people love to project. Let's keep it going.
Countered allegations of violence against a former client in a serious gun threat incident at his home. In May, Michael Garriges, y'all already know I be brutalizing the names. I brutalize them, it's all good. Known as Mike G, who had been hired by Brown to help improve his image, filed a lawsuit claiming that Chris viciously attacked him during a discussion about an upcoming tour, leaving...
You can't beat this. So dude who was hired to help Chris Brown, improve his image, Chris Brown beats him up too. That's crazy to me. Don't you think it's kind of crazy?
Mike G hospitalized due to his injuries. May 2023, Chris Brown and Usher reportedly had an altercation during Chris Brown's 34th birthday party.
I'm telling you, Chris Brown, he needs to just go to freaking jail for a while. He really does. Look, they can build an auditorium if they don't already have one at the prison and let him perform. And I think he should get paid for it, but he needs to just go to prison for a little while. He's beating up mostly women, but he does get around to men too.
A roller rink in Las Vegas. The incident occurred after Brown became upset with Tiana Taylor, with Chris cussing her out, and Usher attempted to defuse the situation. Eyewitnesses claim that after the confrontation, Usher was seen with a bloody nose, indicating a physical fight. Though the details remain unclear, despite the incident, both artists performed later that day at the Lovers and Friends Festival without any visible signs of injury. And that leaves us with the most recent altercation that doesn't have anything to do with the women. July 2024, Chris Brown faced a significant legal challenge when 4 men from Denton County filed a $50 million lawsuit against him and his entourage.
It's all about these 50 mils. I don't know what it is.
Plaintiffs claimed they were invited backstage, and tensions escalated when a member of Chris' entourage reminded him of a past conflict with the guys, allegedly prompting Chris to respond aggressively and direct his entourage.
Chris was cool with the guys until some B dude brought up some past BS. Chris went into bandit mode. No other way to say it.
To attack the men. The lawsuit describes the assault as brutal and unprovoked, with Brown and several members of his entourage.
Here we go again. He can't even do it himself. That makes him a punk ass. You know what? Punk ass. That's punk ass. When you start having other people attack one person, that's punk ass crap right there.
Reportedly surrounding the plaintiffs, throwing chairs, kicking and stomping, resulting in at least one plaintiff requiring hospitalization. I do want to point out, Chris didn't always carry himself in this manner. It didn't start until after the Rihanna incident, when the world turned their back on Chris Brown.
No. I'd have to disagree with that. I believe that it probably started before. But since he was a nobody, all of those incidents probably were not reported or nobody cared about it. Indiana, mom in the house. Here we go.
After the Rihanna incident, he wasn't allowed on TV or radio at the time. A lot of people disassociated with him. Only friends who stood by his side publicly was his day one friends. His childhood friend was Miho. They have matching tats on their hands and all the shit. And Omari.
Yeah, that's because, you guys know, Tiffany Jackson in the house. Good seeing you. And Angela Reddick in the house. Victorious One is in the house. Let's go.
Tiana Taylor, and also Tyga. Chris would take to streaming. He did a Ustream series for a very long while, connecting to his fans, while hanging with his family and friends, giving his fans access to his life, and he would honestly be one of the first to actually do IRL streaming.
I think I'm on Ustream. Yeah, it's working. Cool. Hey. Alright, we're in my crib at the moment. I did this morning. I don't know if you guys see it. But I'm about to paint, about to do some stuff. I don't have all my colors yet though. Need some more blacks and whites. So let's start it off.
And it's funny to me that, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy. But these men will bite tooth and nail to protect themselves, against, violent men. Here we go. Thank you for subbing, Victorious One.
I think Chris needed a form of belonging and he felt alone. So I think he adopted a new friend group that accepted him for his flaws, what everyone else seemed to started to hate him for. Chris Brown's mother, Joyce Hawkins, has openly expressed concerns about the negative influence certain friends and potential gang affiliations may have on her son, urging him to surround himself with supportive friends rather than those who might lead him into further controversy. But with all that being said, Chris would grow into the gang lifestyle regardless of what his mother felt. Yeah, y'all like how I said regardless? I didn't say it.
Yeah, he's a gang guy, that's all. But basically why is it? How is he not in jail? That's the question you have to ask yourself. That's a formula that needs to be figured out. Let's put it this way. Let's kick into this real quick.
Chris Brown's music career has spanned for nearly 20 years, but not without its fair share of controversy and legal troubles. The singer's many legal issues were revisited in a new documentary from the producers of Quiet on Set. Chris Brown, A History of Violence, which premiered on Investigation Discovery this week, looked into Brown's legal troubles and the seeming pattern of violence that has plagued his career. Chris Brown first came onto the music scene in 2005 when he was just 16 years old. As many boasted, he was the new Michael Jackson. But just 4 years later, his legal troubles began when LAPD responded to a 911.
I know. One thing I will say about Michael Jackson, he didn't throw too many lefts and rights, that's for sure. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. Let's see if this will work. Boom. Okay, let me see if I can get myself back on screen. I'm on the wrong side, though. I don't know if that'll work. Wait, I know there's a way for me to flip this. Let me see if I can flip this. Camera in here. Video. Let's see if that works. Okay, let me try it. I got it. Okay, here we go. Let me try that.
One call. The caller said a woman was assaulted on a Hollywood street just after midnight on February 8th. When police arrived, that's where they found the video.
Okay.
Chris Brown avoided jail time in the case. Instead, was sentenced to 5 years of probation and 180 days of community labor.
Now, how did he get it past the 5 days? Corsia is in the house. It's good seeing you. Tiffany Jackson, our new Victorious One. It's good to see y'all in here. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
At the time, his attorney, Mark Garrigo, said in a statement, quote, "This is a kid who's never been in trouble before.
Cyber Dreams in the house.
Who wants to move past this and make sure in terms of his probation for the refused to return her phone unless she signed an NDA. The woman reportedly was able to get her phone. Then she fled to a neighbor's house and hid under a car. When police were outside of
Does he
Brown's
sound like really somebody you want to be around? Man, let me tell you, this is a shame. It's a shame that bandits like this around. It's a shame the way they hurt you. It's a shit. No, I'm not going to try to hit the high note. Let me shut up. Let me keep going. Here we go.
home, he made videos on social media criticizing police for always coming after him, saying in part,
See, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to talk about. That's how many times have you heard, men say, "Oh wow, the police are after me. They're trying to hold a brother down," right after they just put hands and feet on their girlfriend or something. That there is nothing more common than that. That is probably the most common hypocritical thing that these folks do. Oh yeah, you best believe. Look, Cyber, let me tell you something. Shannon Sharp, you tripping. I knew it. Nobody believed me. Why are you getting on Shannon? Why are you getting on Shannon? Well, now you see. But we'll get on to Shannon in a minute. Let me finish up here, dishing it out on the one, the only Chris Brown. You got to give it to him. He has some talent. He has talent, but he's violent and should be in prison. He really should be. Leave me alone. Yeah, I know. Look, Indiana mom, I would probably vie to have Phoenix Soul come handle the singing festivities, but I have to do whatever I can, and Corsia says this, it's not just his money, it's his complexion. Being lighter is the complexion for protection. If he was Barry White Brown, he would have been buried in behind jail. That's true. There have been men who have done less and have ended up in prison. Yeah. Brina West in the house. Hello, DJ Torch. What's up, everyone? We having fun. Here we go.
Quote, when I call the police for a stalker, people that are endangering my life, they don't come until the next day. Police eventually
Wait a minute. He wants to talk about stalking. He does more, but he does a lot of socking. Get it? Socking. Back in the day, that was, sock, punch. He didn't get it. Here we go.
Arrested him for assault with a deadly weapon, but the charges were never filed. Over those several years, Chris Brown and Karrueche Tran had an on and off again relationship,
and she's on with him again. That's what gets me. Now watch what happened to her before she got back with him. This is the crazy part. I will never understand, but I kind of do because that's just life. Here we go.
2014. But 3 years later in 2017, a judge granted Tran a 5-year restraining order against Brown.
Okay. Remember now, Brown has money. He has money. So it wasn't unfair he was given a restraining order. He earned that shit. So keep that in mind. Here we go.
After Tran testified, her ex-boyfriend became aggressive after he demanded she return diamond rings he had gifted her. The then 29-year-old said in court Brown texted her violent threats like, I can get my money back and I'm tired of playing games. I will beat the out of you.
Yeah.
And I promise you I will make your life hell. She also testified.
And go buy your tickets. Go buy your tickets to see him. So what if you guys don't care? I'm talking to the dudes out there. Y'all don't care. He's a violent monster. You don't.
Brown threatened to kill her and alleged he punched her in the stomach twice and pushed her down the stairs.
What it is, Diddy did the same thing. Oh, that's right. Chris Brown hung out with Diddy. He got training lessons. Okay.
No police report was filed at that time, but according to People magazine, the alleged incidents would have occurred when he was still on probation for assaulting Rihanna. In 2018,
Here we go. I thought the courts held brothers down, but it seems like to me, at least as far as Chris Brown and a lot of other people, they've been giving out some gifts. Merry Christmas.
He and two of his friends were sued for sexual battery and assault. The trio allegedly held the victim down against her will and took her phone and wouldn't return it. Brown's lawyer, Mark Garagos, called the allegations a shakedown. The suit was dismissed in 20...
Of course, everybody who that's funny how they always call it a shakedown, but you see how he's stacking this shit up. He's stacking up all this stuff. Your history, your pattern of behavior will always work against you. He is going to have to deal with this for the rest of his life. And he should, because it's who he is.
20 after Brown settled out of court. And in the documentary, another bombshell when one of Brown's accusers comes forward alleging she was raped by the singer on now embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs' yacht in 20...
Well, unfortunately, that makes perfect sense. Because man.
20. The woman who appeared in a silhouette in the documentary and went by Jane Doe claimed while on a trip to Miami, a mutual acquaintance invited her to a party on Diddy's boat. Doe said at the time she had recently moved to LA and was pursuing dance.
Let me pause this right now. Let me drop the link because this is popping already. You know, let me see if I can find that link thing. I'm using a different app today. Let's see. This is it. Got it. Okay. Here we go. If anyone wants to come up, let me know. Here we go.
When she saw Brown at the party and hoped it was a sign he would guide her or give her some advice. She said the two talked and he handed her a drink, but said that's when her memory got weird.
Uh-oh, see? Same stuff. So that's the messed up thing about Diddy being a per se leader, is that he literally made these other men, hundreds of other men, poison the community with their banditry.
Doe said she didn't remember if she saw the singer pour the drink, but she just drank it and he gave her another drink. And then she began to feel tired and her body started feeling heavy. She claimed Brown took her to one of the yacht's bedrooms and raped her. She said,
I mean, unfortunately, if you're around Diddy, this is just go ahead and believe her because it probably happened.
After the incident, she admitted she continued to speak to Brown. And while at first she says she didn't recognize the incident as a sexual assault, she went to therapy where she could admit to herself that it was a rape. In 2022, she filed a $20 million lawsuit against Brown. However, the suit was dismissed after a judge cited a lack of prosecution. But for Chris Brown, his career in recent years hasn't wavered, and he continues to get support from his Hollywood counterparts and his dedicated fan base. Let's bring on attorney and former prosecutor Melba Pearson to get her take on the Chris Brown documentary.
Yeah.
Melba, always so great to see you. To be honest, this documentary didn't really come as a shock to me. We've all seen these allegations in the news, but Chris Brown still has a huge fan base and his career is still ongoing. Other celebrities, also rally support for him. Why do you think that is, given his history of violence toward women and even men?
Elizabeth, that's a really good question. And I don't have a solid answer for that. I can only guess that because he exploded on the scene so young and he just, had this great.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Well, when you want to see some banditry, I got some. Here we go.
Tonight, a Texas community in shock after a brutal stabbing. A prominent local leader seriously wounded and her husband dead. Police say the attacker was their own grandson, now charged.
Now, I bring this up because remember a lot of people got mad at Cynthia G for her famous thing she said like 20 million years ago. I don't know why they even bring it up, but it is brought up. about, the black male baby theory, right? Deleting black male babies. Well, this woman's husband's probably thinking second about that maybe that is starting to render some logic. He looks high as heck in this picture. Wait, let me see if you can. Let me give you a view of him right now, real quick. What am I going to do here? There we go. That's him right there. Okay, I'm going back on screen. Here we go. Okay, so anyway, this is not a bad view. Anyway, you see him up here. There's something in the water. I don't know what it is. Or there's something in the jeans. I don't know what it is. But let's listen.
With murder and aggravated assault.
It's 2 victims with 3 stab wounds between them.
Police say early Monday morning they found Denton County Commissioner Bobby J. Mitchell and her husband Fred with apparent stab wounds from a serrated kitchen knife after responding to a report of an assault in progress.
The first officer that arrived located a suspect vehicle outside the residence and could hear screaming coming from inside the residence.
We have a community beautification event.
Mitchell, who was elected as the first black mayor of Louisville, Texas in 1993, was rushed to the hospital and is now in stable condition, according to police.
That's
her
good to hear.
husband was pronounced dead as a result of his injuries.
Dang.
The community of Louisville is hurting, but we know we will be stronger and we will come together to be strong for the family.
Police say their grandson, 23-year-old Mitchell Blake Reinecker, was still on scene when police arrived.
He was immediately cooperative with officers and surrendered without any incident and was taken into custody.
It was not immediately clear if Reinecker is being represented by an attorney. Police are still investigating and have not identified a motive.
I think the shock and awe is well beyond the immediate family and into the family of this city, this county, and in some cases, the state.
The tragedy pulling the community together as they wait for their beloved commissioner to be released from the hospital. In a statement, Mitchell's family saying in part, our wonderful mother, Bobby J. Mitchell, is expected to recover from the tragic events.
So, I mean, one of the Finns brought this through, and I'm like saying, dang, I mean, how do you mess? I mean, they taking out he's taking out his own people. Nah, he needs to be in prison for a while.
In today's world, we see way too many public servants getting out there and not serving the public, but serving themselves. Bobby is the absolute opposite of that, and we hope that she and the family can move through this and that we can continue to have her service for many years to come.
Kathy Park joins us now. Kathy, do we know anything more about this grandson?
Yeah, Allison, well, this is still an active investigation. And right now, police aren't sharing details on what led up to the deadly attack. They did say that it's believed the grandson was actually living with the couple. And as you heard in our report, Bobby Mitchell wasn't just a local official. She is a pillar of the community. Governor Abbott actually just released a statement saying that he's praying for Bobby's recovery. And among her many titles, she actually held a state commission role. A public vigil is scheduled for tonight. Allison?
Kathy Park, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay.
Wow. I mean, that's crazy to me. But I got crazier stuff for you. I got something really crazy for you. Oh, okay. Concrete Ghost. Let me get this party. All right, Concrete Ghost. How you doing tonight?
Hello. I'm waiting for my ribs to come out the stove.
Now you just made me hungry. Dang it.
Some beautiful ginger pineapple beef ribs. I've been thinking about this all day.
Oh, man. Now you got me thinking about it. That's messed up. But so what do you think about this situation here?
It's very much like what we always see in the media. A male committing a violent act, not just on a woman, but his grandmother. And the media is not really shifting the conversation about sympathizing with the victim. but they circle around him, what he got to do. He had to go live with his grandparents. He might have had some trauma in his past. He had some stress. It's his side of the story. And then some people will defend him, say, oh, he was a quiet kid, or he must have snapped, or he was going through a lot. But they don't keep the same energy about the victim, especially
Right.
when it's a woman.
Right.
So where's the compassion for her? She probably communicated out to somebody that she was in need of some assistance with this young man, but
Mm.
where was it for?
I couldn't
Boys will
agree
be
more.
boys, boys will be boys.
Unfortunately, me Columbia in the house, Indiana mom, Clabber Dreams, Victorious One. Thank you for being a new subscriber. Here we go.
Updated about
No, I didn't want to play that one. Okay, where was I? Oh, okay.
You know they waiting for Shannon Sharp.
Are not people to these kinds of males. We are nothing but a commodity
He's coming up soon too.
necessary for their survival, like food or water. This person says,
Oh,
young smexless.
okay, wait. This is really creepy.
Hey girlies, welcome back to the Imani Forrester channel. As you know, Imani Forrester is the author of 30 Reasons Why Men Deserve Nothing, which you can find in the description box below.
I'm Shanice, and recently I came across a short but chilling post on the 2X chromosome subreddit that said this: the real purpose of the incel movement. The incel movement isn't really about male grievances. It's about radicalizing young boys and men. Every terrorist organization and every fascist movement has used this tactic. It's frightening as hell. And I agree. This kind of grooming and radicalization of males into violent, resentful, entitled extremists has been done before. And they work where they rile the males up, wind them up tight with frustration and entitlement, and then redirect all that aggression and violence wherever the state needs it to go. They become
Well said, Tiffany Jackson. Men boys unable to handle any level of rejection. Saying no to them can become very dangerous for a woman or girl. I couldn't stress more that the best way to say no to somebody is with distance. I'm telling you, it's a different age now.
ticking time bombs ready to be deployed. I'm not going to read all the comments that I came across because a lot of them ended up kind of getting into the weeds, but I will read the ones that I found very pertinent to this topic. So what do you think? Says, it's almost like incel theory is a set of ideological training wheels meant to acclimate young males into the concept that their oppressors are inferior, yet somehow possess outsized power to control society. You know, just like every other fascist movement ever. Evil Code Queen says, tapping into some males' belief that women owe them smecks and telling them that feminism is to blame for them not getting smecks. I'll read this next one just because it's interesting. Jane Doe says, it's the classic, she's a sleut if she does, and she's a frigid bee if she doesn't. The bigger question is, why is the male brain programmed towards binary negativity? Princess Joan of Kent says, what terrifies me is how they view women as a commodity and use phrases like the smexual marketplace and the supply of meow.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
I've read that book. I would tell people, if you have a quick minute, it's an easy read. It's written very satirical and hyperbolic, so it's not really meant to be taken literally in most cases, but she raises some good points. Like as 30 reasons, like the first one is like he was raised by a woman and still learned to disrespect women. That makes you think. Women have influence over children, but somehow we excuse some of that disrespect, especially from a male child. Women will snap on their daughters quick, put them in their place. But it's like I was saying before, boys will be boys. One of the things that made me laugh though is I can't remember which reason it was, but it was he calls it babysitting when he's watching his own kids, not taking that
Wow.
personal responsibility.
Right.
Our conversations often go in circles, but people are pointing out what's wrong, but there's really no intervention that's really moving the needle any way to improvement.
That is so true.
Also increasingly heard these males make statements like smecks is a need and males have the right to smecks and women owe me smecks. Women are not people to these kinds of males. We are nothing but a commodity necessary for their survival, like food or water. This person says, young, smexless men, that's what wars are made of. SS and ISIS notoriously recruited from these groups. Often grape is offered as a payment. The incel movement is a grip that preys upon men and boys' insecurity in their identities as men and boys, tells them masculinity itself is under attack by women, feminism, and society. This makes it frustrating to see men try to discuss positive masculinity in response to the concept of toxic masculinity, even in the more progressive spaces, because they usually end up saying or implying one or more of the following: that men and boys are incapable
That is crazy. In the house, Tanya Sweat. Here we go.
or unwilling to define themselves independently of masculinity. They need exact step-by-step instructions on what being a man is, laid out for them by a sufficiently cool and manly role model who can guarantee them getting everything they want. They don't want to get rid of the pecking order of who's more man than whom, only change around the rules for what their place in it is, and how to be not women without being called misogynist. And I mean, this comment does get into the weeds a little bit, but this is just a really interesting thing to point out, because it is true that males see their identity as being not women. Their whole entire identity hinges upon them not being perceived as womanly in any way. In other words, they
See, that's the funny thing is my feeling is like, if you're a man, you're not worried about if somebody perceives you as a woman. You're just a man. I mean,
It's a really good read if you can get your hands on it. One of the reasons was he thinks being a good guy is a personality and not a daily practice, and that hits so hard. Women are not asking men to be perfect, but we're asking you to be mindful, to practice being aware and emotionally available and taking accountability for your actions. Yeah, everybody slip up every now and then, but it's not just a label you can give yourself. It takes effort, it takes practice, it takes wanting to be better.
well said.
lack a concrete identity, which is a huge part of why they love to gatekeep things that are seen as traditionally male or masculine, because they feel like women encroaching upon it like makes it so that
Henry Mars in the house.
it can't be a marker of their masculinity anymore. Like education, for one. We're in the realms of logic and rationality were touted as the domain of the masculine. Now we see that they don't even want to go to college. So instead, they've turned on those values and they've regressed.
Yeah. It's like, it's quite honestly, I think, especially in our community, we're imploding on each other. I mean, we're imploding. Man, we are. Because now, if you don't want to go to college, then you're not fighting to go to college. And what I mean is that there are certain laws you can vote for to give you access to college easier, just like we have easier access to education. So with that said, obviously the problems that we have, we tend to blame somebody else. Number one on the list is, guess who? Black women. So it's funny because when you start using the blame game, you're not doing anything you're not doing anything about it. That's the thing that people need to know. But here we go.
So far now that they proudly compare themselves to beasts at this point, bragging about being too restless, too wild, too undisciplined, to sit still, pay attention, and follow instructions. Because to them, listening to a teacher, asking questions, following directions is suddenly feminine, and therefore it's beneath them.
Right. So what we're doing is we're training younger men. Older men are training younger men to be violent as a way to prove their manhood. I'm not saying all men are doing this. Oh, here we go again with it's not all men. What I'm saying is that there's a large enough portion that in some ways, excuse me, it might as well be all men in some ways. Concrete Ghost, what do you think?
It's just reinforced in our society. It's in our music, it's in our media, it's in the toys we provide our children. And I just tell them when they say, it's not all men, it's not all men. Yes, you are right. It's not all men, but it is enough men for it to be a pattern. And that pattern affects women every day. And when we talk about these issues, we're not accusing every individual man. We're challenging the system that allows hurtful behavior to go unchecked. The fact that not all men do harm doesn't mean all women aren't affected by it. If you're more concerned about being lumped in with the problem than helping stop it, then you're not a part of the solution.
Right. Exactly.
That is how hollow the construct of masculinity is. Next, women are indirectly to blame because of who they will and won't date. Men will not liberate themselves from patriarchy so long as the dating market, quote, rewards toxic masculinity. Never mind that this idea
Right.
conflicts with the male.
And that's the problem right there too, because until they find out their violent nature is not working, they won't stop doing it. And the problem is a lot of these men don't find out until they go to jail.
And
That's
some
the
of them
only
still
time
don't learn. Some still come out hard-headed.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth? Let me fast forward a little bit to you right here.
Associated with violence that we call.
Young males have often been the group to watch. They've been the most prone to violence. In different eras, they were easily recruited for war and conquest because of the promise of sex, domination, and access to women. And that was often their incentive. So
Yeah,
check out
and
that.
you know what's funny? A lot of men will give up their careers and their lives for access to women that they don't even like. That's the funny part. That is the funny part.
Video, and I'm going to come back
Funny and sad at the same time.
with some commentary.
Young men, typically throughout history, throughout time, have been the group to worry about. So strongly associated with violence that we call it the young male syndrome in our field, that this has always been a huge problem. Now, throughout history, you had kind of cultural or social institutions to deal with your population of incels. So, for example, the monastery would be one for sure, give a high status position to kind of channel these extra guys into. You'd create Vikings out of them. The Vikings were likely incels, not the sexy kind of Netflix Vikings that you think from the TV shows. The Portuguese explorers, there's strong evidence that they were incels, basically, sent on purpose missions to kind of basically get away from causing trouble around for everyone else.
I mean, can you define them as incels when violence was a part of that conquest?
Right. So that's also a good point, that the motivation of acquiring mates has been a motivating factor for a lot of men to join terrorist groups, even jihadi violence.
That is a deep comment right there. And I'll tell you why. That is exactly what these men on these manosphere channels are doing. It's funny that why would you go to a man's channel for women to access women?
See, I think they know the women wouldn't be fooled, but they know they can pull the wool over another man's eyes.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Insert alias here. Thank you for coming through. Eden Adele in their house. Good to see Eden Adele. Here we go, folks. Shannon's coming up. He's coming up next. Here we go.
It's the promise of brides in this life or the next. And when you talk to anthropologists who, there's one, Napoleon Chagnon, and he did some research with the Yanomamo, who are an extremely violent hunter-gatherer society in Bolivia. And he told them about why people in the West go to war to spread democracy, free speech, things like this. And they were just falling off their chair laughing. They were like, what? Why would you? And he said, well, why do you go to war? And they were like, only one reason, to get mates.
I mean, let me tell you, that's why men are violent. To get mates. I really believe in that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's an inherence of violence, that we have through history. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. That's just what it is.
And some women still have that programming in their head where they seek out the bad boys. I mean, it's in the name, bad boys. We know they're not good for us, but some women seek those types out, knowing that's not healthy, knowing that it will cause them further harm in the future, but they seek out that type again and again and again. They are the perpetuators of their own trauma.
That's a very good point. And I think for the ironic reason is they feel like if they're with a bad boy, they will get more protection. The problem is they don't get protection from him. It's that protection, protect and provide that these guys be coming up with. And the funny thing is like, yeah, he might protect you maybe, from other men, but he's still going to get his punt. He's still going to get his lick back, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
And it's been through our history. We're not cave people. We're so far removed from that. I know, they started Australia. They were sending their undesirables. So yes, some of those people were just poor people who couldn't pay off their debt, but the people that were violent, the ones that attacked women, they shipped them off to another country. They got them out the way and set them free in the wild land. So I mean, it's a part of our history, but we are so far evolved from that. I mean, women already know all men aren't bad men. That's not the point. The point is it shouldn't be any. We deserve to
right.
move through the world without having to constantly calculate risks based on our gender. And it's not about attacking individual men. It's about naming the problem that's systematic. So like I said, if you're not part of the problem, that's great. Then help change the culture. That's what allies, that's what an actual good man would do.
Exactly. Well said. Well, without further ado, here we go.
I got something. Because this seems to be like the last year and a half.
I got something too. Now, Concrete Ghost, a long time ago, I was telling I told everybody there's something up with this dude that when you see him on his nightcap with his other buddy, they be letting some stuff slip that doesn't sound right. And everybody's no, Club Shay say he's the man, he's our leader. If Shay Shay can, nobody. If Shay Shay's our man, Shay Shay's our man. If Shay Shay can, nobody can. I mean, they were literally, these dudes were singing shit like that. Now look.
He was never my unk. He was never my unk.
I know, they call him unk. So those dudes who were calling him unk could never turn around and say, oh yeah, I never thought about him, as my leader or nothing like that. They cannot say that anymore. They cannot say that. Here we go.
There's been all this talk about these Hollywood parties.
Let's talk about it.
Amber, what's really going on?
I don't know.
You ain't never been invited to these Hollywood parties?
I've been to probably everyone. I've been to every Puff party. I've been to every white party since 2009. I've been to every party, and
you just go in the wrong.
I'm still mad about how he's calling Amber Rose dirty and nasty and all that kind of shit. And this dude, sorry, slip. This dude, Yee, who wanted to change his name to that dude from long ago who was an NC back in the long time ago. He has a nerve to force his wives to walk around naked. So let's keep it. I just
go in the right room, not the wrong room.
I don't think there's rooms, Chan. I'm gonna be honest. Now look, I'm gonna be very, very transparent on the show. If these freak offs are happening, it's on a completely different day than the actual Puff parties.
Okay.
It's not that day because every time I was there, Puff was there the whole time. He got the Ciroc. He's on the DJ booth. He's the host of the party. Mm-hmm. I will say that. Now, I've had this conversation with Ray J. Ray J is one of my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Ray,
Oh, that's a problem. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
they ever invite you to a freak off? Because they never invited me.
Mm-hmm.
And I done been at these parties. I just feel like, why I didn't get the invite?
Because they know you don't get down like that.
Maybe they know I don't get down like that. Okay, cool. But you would think.
Wait a minute, though. Weren't they trying to dog her out to say that she did get down like that? And it took 10 years for us to find out that she doesn't get down like that? That's kind of crazy to me.
Yep, they're running that double standard game. Nobody wants to name it, but everybody sees it.
Mm.
The one that plays out every day in the headlines, the hot takes, the hashtags, that's the one where Black men get grace and Black women get grilled.
Yep. Because I mean, I think right now, let's just get it out there. She's a lot cleaner than Yee is. So if these dudes want to respect Yee, then they shouldn't have any problem with her at all. Because
exactly,
it's clear that he was the one doing all that nasty. Let me calm down. I was about to.
And he does it over and over and over again. But yet, when the dude slips up, it's a moment, a bad day, a rough patch. He's a misunderstood genius, and he cries
Right.
on a podcast on the internet, or gives himself a redemption arc. He writes an apology post, maybe, and suddenly he's a healed king, and people say he's learning, he's human, he's a product of his environment. But let a Black woman raise her voice, let her get loud one moment, she's problematic.
Mm-hmm.
She's aggressive. She's not classy. She's difficult to work with.
All right. Winter is here, is on stage. How you doing tonight? Oh, that was interesting. Okay, here we go.
Maybe an assistant would come up and be like, hey, you like girls, or like, you into. Never. No one ever asked me that. They never asked Ray J either. And me and Ray J was talking about it. We were like, I done been to the party, the after party, the after party. I never seen none of that stuff. Right. But that's not to say that it does not happen or invalidate people that. But I do think it's a different day that I'm just not invited to. I don't know.
You think it's a plot because we saw it happen with Russell Simmons, now we see it happen with P. Diddy. You think it is a plot or a ploy to take down prominent, high-powered Black men?
That is so funny. He said that, this was done a month ago. So this is prior to this whole thing coming out. Hello, Winter is here. Are you there?
Torch, what is this?
What is good?
What is this?
He's in his experimental era.
I'm so
He's trying
confused.
different tools.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna work for me, Torch. Cause
look, you know something? That's that.
I'm trying to push the button and it knocked me out.
Oh, okay.
Come on now,
if that happens again, it's not me. I'll even put my hands in the air. But I'm sorry, but StreamYard is tripping. They tripping. I will talk. I could almost do a whole stream on how StreamYard is tripping, but we won't talk about them right now. But yeah, a lot of people told me they do not like Restream. It boots them out for a minute. Do you have an Apple phone? Oh, okay.
Buffering on my end. Turn my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is on.
Oh,
it's
wait.
like
do you
a
have
bad delay.
Another stream? If like another.
If you have YouTube open, you need to mute it. Mute the YouTube and just go through this window.
Uh-oh. Oops. Wrong button. Let me drop the link just in case he needs to get back on. Okay. Okay, here we go.
I don't know. It really depends on the evidence, right? Because they did say that there were drugs in the baby oil. I don't know. That's allegedly.
This was a month ago, and he's literally sideways defending Diddy. So, I mean, okay. Let me break something down. the Diddy thing's been going on for almost a year now, right? So if this was the beginning of the Diddy thing, I could almost understand, you know, his defense of Diddy, right? But it's been so long, and there's been so much evidence that even his good friends don't want to be around him. This is where you see there's something creepy about this, about Shay. Because it's pretty clear to me that Diddy, if Diddy did half the stuff he did, it's hella bad, if you know what I mean. So why is he's bringing up this prominent, why are people trying to take down prominent black men? And in the background, he's literally interfacing with a woman who's 1/3 his age. That's crazy to me. That's super crazy.
I think it's just power is protecting power. I mean, Diddy, even though he's dirty, we all know it, we've all seen it. Even if he did a fraction of that, he's still rich and connected and has been influential for decades. He's not just
Right.
a rapper, he's a businessman, he's a gatekeeper, he's his own brand. So when people have access to money and those types of relationships, they're harder to hold accountable because people are afraid of losing their opportunities and they stay silent to protect their own status. Shannon already knew his hands were dirty.
I see what you're saying. He
So
already knew he was in the club.
Yes, it was just a matter of time before people see his palms are just as dark as the back of his hands. He was trying to control the narrative by going through this whole innocent act. But they say a hit dog gonna holler.
Yeah, that is crazy. Dang, why does Winter is Coming keeps dropping off? Okay, maybe I will have to go back to StreamYard, but I'm not getting their top package. That's for sure. They tripping too, but here we go.
Is that true? You think
I
Big
don't
Puff had
know.
1,000 bottles of baby oil?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know because
Okay. So I want to keep our minds on that because we going into here. And I'm going to let a male talk first because I don't want, here we go. Here we go right here. Wait, let me go forward. Okay, let me see what this guy's gonna say.
I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Did you and Shannon offer to settle these accusations?
Yes, there was a settlement offer made by Mr. Sharp. I will only generally say to you that it was in the tens of millions of dollars demanded by the plaintiff in return for her silence. That's under any definition commonly understood. That is blackmail. And Mr. Sharp was willing to pay an amount in the tens of millions of dollars, but no final agreement could be reached. And we thought we were still in the middle of discussions when, without warning, the mediator, who's a retired judge, ourselves as lawyers, without any prior warning, still thinking that we were close to a final agreement, the plaintiff and her lawyer from Houston filed a case in Texas, publicly accusing my client of lies and willful, harmful lies by using the rape word when it was she knows, 100% knows. And the evidence will show that she knew that this was entirely consensual. So,
what do you think? What do you think? Concrete Ghost. Where do you think this is going?
I think she's gonna milk this man for everything she can get, and he was stupid. He should have saw the setup a mile away. What do a little child like that, and I say child because she's 19, her brain still haven't finished developing. What would a child like that want with his old behind?
Right.
Is it his good looks or
Right.
is it his wallet? He should have saw that coming. He's seen what happened to his peers, his fellow ex-players, fellow celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for all the good stuff to come. I want to see the text. I want to see the video. He knew when he was making that, he was setting himself up. He's just dumb. He dumb. And I want to see all the tea. Bring
Yes.
it, little girl. Bring it.
Ain't that the truth?
We were of the belief on our side that we had an agreement without any warning. Not even the mediator, who is a retired judge, was given a warning out of courtesy. This case was filed and the public charges went throughout the media before we even knew.
Quite honestly, if it was in the tens of millions, I believe she would. I think it was dumb. I mean, how many millions do you really need as a regular person? Tens of million people don't make that in 5 lifetimes, 10 lifetimes. I mean, I understand that she went through something and she should get, if everything that they gave her an offer. So my feeling is that she's going to end up not getting much and he's going to end up losing his career. And that's pretty much how it's going to end. Because tens of millions of dollars, I don't know, what more do you want? You see what I'm saying?
I'm trying to see how much he's worth.
Good idea.
I'm Googling that. Okay, I got one that estimate he's worth 30 million and he pulls in about a salary of 10 million a year. That's one estimation.
So he was literally willing to give his net worth to this woman.
Oh, a year's salary. Yeah, she must got some good stuff. Bring the video. I'm ready for that.
You ready, right?
Yeah, if he's making like 10 million a year. Yeah.
What's funny to me is that these dudes on here, this happens all the time to black men.
All the time.
Okay. So, but for some reason, they go after black women. They get mad at black women. They are one of the top reasons why black women pass away. But black women ain't doing this. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like getting down on other cultures of women, but I'm trying to point out that if black men get taken, most of the time, they're not taken by black women like this. There's no black men out there trying to give a black woman umpteenth, dozen millions of dollars and stuff. That's just not happening. So why do they have these men have this disdain for black women? But even after seeing the evidence like this, okay, still hold these other women on a higher pedestal.
Every story has to have a villain, and it's going to be the black woman. Because as long as you can look down on somebody, that means you're not at the bottom. So it's always going to be black women are the villain. So
Right.
yeah, so when an older man like this falls for a setup with a 19-year-old child, it's not just about the sex. It's about ego. It's about denial and imbalance. I mean, he thought he was in control. That's why I'm ready for the tea. He thought he was in control. She knows she's not, but she can take control of the narrative. And when she does, suddenly it's not a secret, it's a reckoning. He's going to
Right.
pay. He's going to pay.
Yeah. You know something? For the sake of black men, he should pay. Because maybe we will learn a lesson.
Mic check
serious.
1 2 1 2.
She's back.
All right.
You know who this be, but for tonight's show, Winter is here.
All right, Winter, break it down.
So, I was telling a young man today, right? I said, look at the Shannon Sharp situation and look at these men aren't flaunting these young women, quote unquote, to get older women jealous. It's for them to parade these women around younger men because these old farts are jealous of younger men.
Right.
Shannon Sharp, people would say, oh, he was being set up. I agree, but I'm going to give you context to it. He was set up by his own behavior, Torch, because when the sex video was leaked, right? When the sex video audio was leaked, right? He got admiration. He got put on a pedestal. He got applauded. He got affirmation. He got all the accolades that you will attribute to a productive president or, you know, Alexander the Great, uh, you know, all the attributes he was giving these things because people were saying that he was this and that, and he leaked that video. It was a disgusting video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these people played in our face, allowing that video to go out. He didn't get canceled. He didn't get blocked off of Instagram. He remained on in viewership of the spotlight. And he said, okay, if women don't understand that this is a spiritual warfare, I don't understand what to tell you.
Right.
I want him to go all the way down. Now, some would say, oh, she was 18. This girl is fully aware. What out of all the women he can approach, he went to a certain type of women, OnlyFans, right?
Mm.
Now, I've heard some people said that the leaked video, he's threatening this young girl and she's recording it. You know, these new phones, Torch, these iPhones, you can record anything. These cell phones now are like the CIA, FBI, cold case, Watergate. They got all the capabilities to record your conversation by a push of a button and you don't even know. Yeah.
Well said.
He's
I think
set
he
up by
really
his own
just
behavior.
underestimated her though, because I mean, that's why he picked her.
No, he
She's
didn't.
innocent and young, and she's doing this stuff to make money online, and she had no power. He underestimated her power just
No,
because
he
he
didn't.
thought she was young and a sex worker, that she was less powerful and she wouldn't speak up, or he wouldn't have did all that crap. I know he's
Listen.
stupid, but he took the extra step, assuming she had no leverage. But now she has the story, she has the receipts, and now everybody's giving her a platform, and she's gonna burn it all down unless she get her money.
See, I don't be surprised that that sex audio that came out is considered revenge porn. Whoever that young lady is in that audio should sue him as well.
Mm.
Because he didn't think that, okay, this is terrible. This is bad. He actually joked about it. They made content about it. He went from TV show to TV show, TV podcast talking about it. They was calling him Unc. You still got a stroke, Unc, and he was proud of it. I don't think he even cared because of that situation. He did not get any consequences from that situation. People stopped talking about it, and now look
Mm.
what happened to him.
I can't
That's a
even
good
stand
point.
to look at him though. I mean,
It's,
just that picture that's
I
up on the
love it.
screen
I
now,
love
it's
it.
making me have goosebumps. Just that big lip foolishness. It
I love it.
I don't care how much money he got. I am not touching that. That just makes me kind of
Now,
sick on the
Torch.
stomach.
Now you know the narrative is that a 50, these guys are what? The prize, and they are the most desired, right?
Supposedly.
A mo- when you desire something at such a high level, don't you try to cultivate it?
Right.
Hmm.
That's the weird thing. That's a good point because you would think that in the position he's in, the last thing he wants to do is he's working for ESPN who was about to pay him $50 million. what made him think messing around with it, even if he wasn't violent to her, what is he thinking going with, dating per se, a woman who's 1/3 his age and he met on OnlyFans or something? Did he understand? I think, see, that's the problem with a lot of men in our community. They think they're going to get respect through their DICK.
Because Torch, they have to make their narrative come to fruition. They have to for some reason say that I am the most desired of the narrative is a 50-year-old doesn't hit the wall if he's a man and got money. That's their narrative.
It's the
Right.
validation through the youth. I mean, he's an old man messing with a child. It's not love. It's not a midlife crisis. It's just about him reclaiming his youth and dominance and sexual power. Because for some men, being wanted by a young woman, even if she's being paid, strokes the ego more than any award he could possibly get. And he gets to feel chosen even when it's transactional. So he's willing to live the lie.
Yeah, they have to live up to their narrative. And the only way for them to do that is to pay young women.
Boom. Well said.
But I hope they strip them of everything. I hope they take everything.
You need to change the picture on the screen. I can't keep looking at it.
Okay, let me see. Let me change the picture. Let me see.
His hairline didn't recede.
knew
It
that,
evacuated. Man, he just not a good looking man. He's not.
I mean,
the video is out, right? Y'all know the audio is she leaked it.
I'm going to try to see if she see what she's
advantage of it, and I have described this in my opinion.
Okay, let me go forward.
And will not succeed. In her efforts to extract a large financial settlement, Ms. Zayega presented Mr. Sharp with a secretly recorded video of a consensual sexual encounter.
See, I quite on they deserve each other in some ways. Let me go to right here.
That girl right there is about her bag, and she doing it in a diabolical way.
See, I can't agree with this bullshit, Torch, because she's on OnlyFans. So how is it diabolical?
Right.
Just because he don't know how to use a cell phone doesn't mean she don't know how to use it. He's just stupid.
This is her profession. I'm gonna go on mute because I'm gonna start cursing.
I had to go on mute a little while ago. Man, let's see.
They
use diabolical. Can somebody pull up the definition of diabolical, please? Because
let me grab that real quick.
Please,
let me see.
Let's get some contents to this, Torch. Because they use diabolical.
Let me go with it. As
like a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? I can't see that, Torch.
Characteristic of the devil, or so evil as to be suggestive of the devil.
Oh,
wait
come
a minute
on now. Are you serious?
That's crazy to me. And he's on this dude right here. See, he's probably and it's the same thing. He's probably in with the crew. You know what I mean? Let me play another one. I know there's one on here where they have
Shannon Sharp's ex-girlfriend has now
let me pause
releasing audio.
Okay, yeah, she released audio. I'm gonna go to the audio.
Wait, did he say girlfriend in the same sentence as Shannon Sharp?
Yeah.
Bell, so you never miss out on breaking news.
Okay, let me go forward a little bit more.
Just a reminder in regards to this story, Front Office Sports reports that the attorney for the woman accusing Shannon Sharp of rape has released an audio file of Sharp threatening to choke the ish out of her. Sunday, the lawyer, Tony Busby, filed a lawsuit on behalf of a woman going by the pseudonym Jane Doe, in which Sharp was accused of SAing her. The suit claimed that the two met at a gym in Los Angeles in 2023, and the relationship grew intense when Sharp went on Instagram Live while apparently having sex with another woman. Michelle, you remember when that went viral?
Now, I still don't know why he did that. That was so stupid.
Can I just speculate? And this is not fact. I just want to speculate and give you guys what I'm thinking. I'm not neither here or there in regards to whose side am I on, because we were not there.
Okay, let me pause that right there. I'm going to move it forward because I think he has a tape on here. Maybe he doesn't. Okay, wait. Okay, let me see what he's saying right here.
And defend myself because this isn't right.
Okay, good.
Oh my God.
I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a tape.
Oh, not the race card, George.
And play
the race card. Yes, the race card.
Black women, stand down.
Stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place.
I hope he understands he put himself in this position. I really do.
At her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career.
If what she says is true, I mean, there are other privacy laws and shit like that, but you know, we'll see. He can try.
Career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say.
I want to know how he got with her. Why and why? More importantly, why? Why is a dude literally almost 60? Okay. Getting with somebody 1/3 his age. That's what he's getting. That's what he's paying the $50 million for, in my opinion.
That's not the issue. The issue is he is able to be in a room and with other people who look as better as this girl. He has access to those rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why a man of his quote unquote caliber own OnlyFans?
Thank you. Concrete Ghost.
Oh, I'm over here writing poetry.
you write a Shannon Sharp poem.
The word diabolical inspired me, but
thank you for my flowers. Thank you, because I've been hearing it for a year. This word diabolical.
I mean, yeah, what's diabolical? Oh, let me play the tape. Here we go.
Just like I always do.
So I felt like it was important for us to give you the full scope in regards to this audio. We also have to consider the attorney that's representing her, that's been in the headlines a lot in the last few months and recently has faced a lot of his own behavior being questioned and reprimanded in the court system. And he recently lost against Jay-Z because he, according to Jay-Z, was trying to shake him down for millions of dollars. And even before the Diddy and the Jay-Z of it all, Tony Busby has been a part of these high-profile cases where he was coming after these well-known black men. Guys, as always, we're going to keep you updated on this story.
Let me go on. He's got another one. Which one has it? Okay, let me play this one.
Pro Football Famer and club.
Okay. This is not it because let me play Empire anyway.
And you know the powers that be, The reason why he gonna go down, Torch, because he's a liability to any company, any
Right. Yeah.
network, any establishment. He's a liability.
Straight up.
And 2 dozens massage therapists from.
Dang it. What did I do with that tape?
Y'all hear me eating? I'm starving. I'm going.
I'm finna get my beef in a second. I was just trying to fit. I'm not dropping bangers, but I got a short one.
Man,
I'm inspired. I got the poem. I got it.
I just got off work. Let me go back on mute so I can finish it.
Okay, let's see where it's at. Maybe it's in this one. I know I had some of the tape.
Big guns, too. Her lawyer accusing her. You messing her text message black
Okay.
somewhere and sat down. Get you one.
Okay, let me go back to here. I know I have that stuff in here somewhere. Okay, wait, hold on one second. I'm going to pull it up.
See, the first time he lied and went on this PR stunt. See, this is their pattern. When these black males get in trouble, they go on this PR stunt.
They taking their cue from Trump. They just say it didn't happen. They just lie and say it didn't happen. Even when we see the proof with our own eyes, it didn't happen.
Okay, let me see if this was it. Wait, I think that's it. Yep, here we go.
I'm gonna use the sentence in the right. I'm gonna use the words diabolical in the right sentence. If those who support this man are truly diabolical.
Bars.
I got it in the poem, but the poem is real short. Let me know when y'all ready.
Oh, you got the poem ready?
I got it. It's very short. It's not a
No,
banger, but
hey,
it's good.
No, let's do it. Let's do it.
He stepped out bold with a thick-lipped grin, but forgot that his hairline had already packed it in. Edges retreat like they've seen a ghost, confidence loud, but that fade a roast. A 19-year-old sealed his fate with secrets sharp and a thirst for hate. Now that the web's ablaze, receipts in hand, another legend too weak to stand. It's diabolical, tragic, wild, power seduced by a smirking child. He played the game, but missed the rule. Even the devil can get dragged like a fool.
Girl.
Dang.
Wait, you gotta do the fingers. What's that?
That
Girl.
was Concrete came with it. That was great. I mean, okay, back to the tape. Everybody in the chat, you got to give Concrete Ghost. Okay.
And you got the lighter
Winter is here.
emojis.
And Winter's here. All the emojis. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Well, let me read this. It says a man with no D
No,
discipline
she was
always.
the way she said she doesn't, and it's weird because she has a deep voice. She's like, not a good look, Shannon. And that was like, what? He can't. I'm embarrassed as a man. I'm embarrassed.
Don't be Torch.
Oh, I mean, It's one of these looks.
Be happy.
I'm like this. This is me. I think I will make this my new my new avatar.
I'm
Every
elated
time these dudes something like this.
because
See,
the people did not have enough disgust when the audio came out. Like these men who have money, they regular things doesn't get them off anymore because they have so much access to it. So they
right,
got to keep pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope. Like Chris Brown, why he got to drug somebody?
right.
It's the thrill of getting away with it. Getting away with it.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I'm gonna get me something to drink. What's up? What's going on, Torch? No video?
Okay,
Come on, Torch.
let me fast forward a little bit. Here we go. I'm trying to get to the mix.
Chat's on fire.
Good job, chat. Susie Bear, what up? Shout out. Tiffany, shout out. We got to get this channel back to its glory days.
I hear that.
Almost curse. F the haters. And the
Wait, come
cloud
on.
watchers. You know the cloud watchers in here.
Cloud watches. Wait, okay.
Go sit on the toilet because I know you constipated. All that bullshit y'all be eating. Bullshit narratives, bullshit theories. Eat bullshit lies. They eat bullshit cake and shit.
Okay, let me see. Okay,
But don't get it confused, I'm very
I
smart.
guess that's
I just
all that
like to
was on the
cuss.
tape. Let me go back to the tape one more time. Well,
Yeah, but girl, you did that off the dome?
No, I was sitting here the whole time listening to y'all writing. That's why I was quiet.
dang. I mean, that's
Damn, you a ghostwriter.
straight up trialing. Yeah.
You know with this new AI stuff, you guys, you can make like a cartoons and stuff like mini and cartoons and stuff like that.
Like memes and gifs.
Literally make a cartoon. I've seen people do it on their pages. But now that the new AI is out, I'm just curious on how it's gonna look. I'm thinking about even researching some things and see what I can come up with.
Let me
Well,
see if
what
this is
I've seen on Reddit is Copilot. That's a Microsoft product.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen stuff like that with Copilot. And that's free, so, more power.
Let me
Do
see
they
this.
help you like illustrate the characters you want?
Yes.
Here we go. Here we go, guys.
Good night, T Mama. It's early. Where you live at? Greenland somewhere?
Wait, yeah, let me get some more volume on this. Okay.
T Mama say she tired. Oh, Torch, Brina West said her sister does that That cartoon stuff.
Dang. We got a lot of talent around here.
Because when he go down, we could do a whole eulogy. We could have church. Serious. Like, I'm with all pettiness. All pettiness. Call it, had a church music, going up beyond. He dead. He gone.
I'll do the eulogy.
Oh, that's go. See, you see what I'm saying? That's gonna be hysterical.
y'all love him.
That's gonna be off the chain show, Torch. Like, for real.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, who the obituary? Who would you say he left?
He left his good sense a few years back.
Oh, wait. Oh, my bad. Okay, here we go. Okay. Here we go. I got the tape ready. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Here's what it is.
What? Sharp, Tracy Ellis. Look at what they're both doing. Look at the differences in how they're living their lives.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Okay, T Mama's got to get some rest. T Mama, catch you on the next one. Thank you. Sleep well.
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, that mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
Oh, she playing his ass hard.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I didn't hear that.
That would have been smart if he did hang up on her. That would have been the smartest thing he did. The very smartest thing is that he never got involved with her in the first place.
Last part the first time. Did y'all hear that? Let me play that again.
I'm not going to hang up
Like,
on you.
seriously, like,
Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no,
oh my
that
God,
mercy.
you don't hear
If you say
the
that one
laughing in her voice?
I know.
She was playing him and he was stupid. She probably came across as this little meek, submissive mouse. And she was playing him. And he's so mature and knowledgeable and he's
Right.
wise. He's the king. And there was probably no chemistry, but she had that. She's an OnlyFans actress. She knows how to act.
Girl,
Right.
you can tell her friends is there cracking up, trying not to make a noise.
Yeah. To her friends, he's not that guy. He's that guy.
But the question is, Torch, do you hear his patience with her?
Yeah.
Because he was the dominant. He's the
to
one telling
reason.
her how it's going to be.
Here we go.
One more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
See, let me tell you what the networks are going to do. They're going to cut through the bullshit, whether it was meant or not. What they're going to say is, we got a 60-year-old black man dating a woman third his age, regardless of race. It already sounds bad. And they're having this kind of a sexual relationship. And we want him to be our, the face of our franchise. Oh, hell no. So he's already like somebody said.
If Monica Lewinsky can do it with the president of the United States, These
Yeah.
Negroes easy picking, dog.
I mean, as Tiffany said, stick a fork in Shannon because he is done. He will not go broke. He will not go broke, but this will definitely, whatever kind of deal he had going on, isn't. Tanya Sweat in the house. He was trying to
He said
be.
he frugal, he cheap. He always say that on the podcast. He cheap.
Well, I guess he's gonna have to. That's good for him to
Big
be
chunk
cheap.
of money. 50
Yes,
mil?
he's gonna. Yeah, he was cheap enough to keep that money away. He was cheap enough that he can give all that money to her now. She gonna get some money.
She gonna get that money, and he gonna try to pull a Jonathan Majors. Watch, he gonna try to hook up with a black woman
Right.
who's
Who you
gonna
gonna get?
redeem him. I don't know.
Cicely
Somebody that's gonna
Tyson
redeem
gone.
him.
No, that's an excellent point. I truly believe that's what he will do next. In fact,
And he's
Angie
still
Stone,
gonna have
rest in peace.
defenders.
Who you gonna get?
I don't know.
Erykah
There's
Badu.
always gonna be somebody.
Erykah
No.
Badu.
no, I think he blew his cover because at least what Jonathan Majors had, I mean, he didn't try to promote his Smex tapes or whatever. Well, something I can't call it. Well, Jonathan Majors actually can act. He can actually act.
Mhm.
So the problem is now, no.
See, what Jonathan Majors, his problem was he was cheating on this girl, right? They supposedly, you got to understand, Cynthia G always told her that these unions are like, they have the same pathology, right?
Right.
She didn't understand why this. I'm quite sure he was dealing with Megan Good in that relationship. This is why Megan Good was so comfortable supporting him.
Right.
She was there already, and the Snow Bunny probably found out, and she couldn't take it, and she starts to show her fit, feminine, and submissive ways, and 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 Jonathan Major tried to subdue it, and take it all in, and it got caught on CCTV, and we see him doing the Hussein Bolt.
Brina hit it perfect. He won't date a black woman, but he will date a black man. That could be true. Let me play a little bit more of this tape. Here we go.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Anything I say, you're just gonna get
I
mad
don't
at,
think
and
you have
you're
a
just
choice in the matter.
It's sexual.
Those last words, you.
He probably thought he was play acting. Yeah. He probably thought it was part of the
Exactly.
script because that's what they've been doing.
Sexual
have to eat them
communication is
up.
all these men have.
Yep, that's it.
He could have pulled a "Who's Your Daddy" out of his pocket right there.
It was one thing about the choking. It was.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But he's so stupid. She recording it, and she's going to bring context to the judge.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing,
get that money.
she might be legal, but I'm telling you, this is not going to end well for Shannon. It's not going to end well at all.
It was one thing for you to be in your Jonathan Majors era, but Shannon, Jonathan Majors, Sharp, them last few words, you're gonna eat that bad.
That's funny how y'all brought that up before I even played this part of the clip. And then she talking about Jonathan Majors.
Because we
He
wise
wasn't
women
the
over here.
first. He wasn't the first, and he's not going to be the last.
Boom.
And we think logical. They say women are not logical. This young white girl is very logical.
Yep.
She came up with a whole coup.
I don't think you have a choice in the matter. Shannon, Jonathan Majors, Sharp, you're gonna eat those words. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad.
This is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
Diabolical.
This chick probably already had the plan and was just waiting to meet somebody. It probably
Right.
didn't matter who it was.
Girl,
Right.
what's
She's
your
on
name again?
OnlyFans.
You my twin. You my twinny.
Ghost. We could just say
Ghost.
ghost.
Didn't I call her a ghostwriter?
I don't
Oh, you see.
understand.
Wait, say again.
I called her a ghostwriter because she came off the dome.
That's right. That's a. Oh man, that makes so much sense.
And what is happening? And I saw something recently. Carrie Hilson said something about athletes.
Yeah, the important message I hope everybody takes away from the Shannon Sharp thing is that what's doing us black men in is us black men. I mean, you could blame outside forces, and don't get me wrong, there are outside forces, but at the end of the day, we do more damage to ourselves than anyone else. So I hope Shannon will learn that lesson too. I hope he's just trying to, when he makes that fake speech about saying that, it's all woe is me and shit. I hope in his heart he's really saying, I really screwed up bad. I have no business being, with somebody who's the age of my grandchild or somebody. You see what I'm saying? That's his problem. That's ultimately his problem. That's why he's where he is now, is because he's really living a very horrible situation. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. All these dudes out here that's trying to move like Shannon Sharp, whether you got $1 million or $10 in your pocket, this thing that you're doing, it is not a flex, dude. It's not manhood. It's all ego. And ego cannot hold you at night. It will not keep your secrets. It will not honor your legacy. And these little girls are not your healing. If they're under half your age, that's the only thing that's making them appealing in the first place.
Right.
It's time to heal yourself, men. Heal yourself.
I mean, think about it like this. Kevin Samuels did the exact same thing, and look what it got him. They should have learned from that. They should have learned from that.
They don't want real relationships. They want to date these arm candies. They don't understand what it's like to have someone who doesn't flinch when things get real. They just want these pretty little toys that they can show off to other men. That they don't want someone who actually sees that they're real and see their flaws and decide to stay anyway. They want these girls who are so young and inexperienced and naive, but they haven't earned respect that comes with a real relationship. They're just starting off on the wrong foot and they keep getting deeper and deeper into quicksand.
Exactly. Let's end this with Charleston. Right. Okay, wait. No, wait. I mean, it's hard. I can't think of any. Well, no, the black leaders that we have that are actually really black leaders, the manosphere doesn't like anyway. So,
I mean, I understand what Ghost was saying, but how can you even apply that logic to these men? Because these men, the core of them they don't have any foundation to even withstand that type of love and caring for them. They getting exactly what they are with themselves. Like they get exactly who they are with these women.
So if they don't want to be better, they're just not going to get better. It's going to take them making a step towards getting the help that they need. Women are not psychiatrists, psychologists, magical doctors. Well, some are because, we're very educated. But the steps to healing themselves have to come from within. Like I said, it's not a label they can give themselves. It's an everyday practice of trying to be better. And if they don't want that for themselves, they can just keep on playing in the mud.
Till he had to get the little homie out the way. It was nip, nip, nip. It wasn't you. Big you.
Click like. Charleston White breaks down how he says the West Coast extortion game was played. What's interesting is the names of people he says were involved. Before we get to a rare clip where Charleston exposes exactly how and why he believes Nipsey was extorted, let's first see this clip.
Now, Big U also commented on you. He said that, and I quote, "The bitch is looking for likes and to get a winner locked up." Do you understand why the West might feel some kind of way about you commenting on Nip?
They killed Nip, homie. Man, no, I don't fear no motherfucking retaliation, homie. Them niggas ain't bad no more, nigga. And they wasn't bad back then. We was just little boys that they was able. We was easy. We was young and impressionable, so it was easy to trick us. Big U a bitch, nigga. He a big old bitch. The bitch want likes, nigga. I don't want no likes. If I wanted likes, I get on her and tell everybody what they want to hear. I don't get a lot of likes. I don't say nothing for likes. As a matter of fact, nigga, I wake up for a motherfucker not to like.
If we keep choosing men like this, we're doomed.
I mean, I was just telling. It's ironic that I was telling some people I like Charleston White. Why? Because he is the product of black male culture. They created it, and because he has no talent, athletic talent, he ain't sexy. He don't rap. He don't sing. So why not talk about these niggas? He holds up the mirror. Look at this man. He ain't got no talent. He said, "Shit, if I can't join him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna hold this mirror up."
He's trying to
Because
burn the house down from within.
no, he on the outside with the police trying to burn it down. Because he know how they think, because he just like them. Black male culture created him. How a nigga from Texas know all this shit about some California niggas?
That's a good point. That's a damn good point.
This chat is wild.
I know they go. We got to do this again. If anybody in the chat or on panel, you guys got any suggestions for another live stream, hit me up. I got my friends putting out some good stuff. They put this live stream together for me. I appreciate it very, very much. Anything to say on our way out tonight, everybody?
My heart goes out to young women, especially the young black women. They're moving through this world, and you might have a fire in your eyes and a softness in your chest. And they just need to know that some men will see that light and they'll try to dim it. But it's not because you're not brilliant, but because they can't handle your shine. So they'll come wrapped in charm, and they're older and they're wiser, and they'll say stuff like, "You're mature for your age and you're not like other girls." And that might feel good at first, but here's the real thing. You don't know enough yet to see through that dude. Don't fall for it. He's not drawn to your mind. He's counting on your inexperience. He's not in love with your spirit. He's just hoping that you don't have boundaries yet. And if every other woman his age avoids him, that's not a compliment, it's a warning. You're not too much, ladies. You are definitely not too young to demand respect. So if it feels off, it is. If your friends are worried, they're not jealous, they're probably right. And your voice is not too loud, your boundaries are not too high, your power is not a threat, it's your protection. So protect it. And if he ever tells you something crazy like keep quiet, that you're ruining his life by telling your story, tell it louder, because you don't owe anyone silence for the shame they handed you. And you are not what he tried to reduce you to. You are worthy, you are sacred, and you are never, ever alone. Tell your story.
Bars, ladies and gentlemen. You got to give her a hand of applause for that. Beautiful.
My last words gonna be sideways, right? I'm coming so sideways. Anyways, for my last words for young ladies is F these dusties. Get you a CCW. Put you up some cameras. Keep your credit right. Don't give them keys to your house. Use protection. Get on birth control.
That's actually great advice as well. Excellent. You didn't go too sideways. That's actually very wise.
I was holding back, Torch. I was holding back.
That was wise and concise, as they would say.
Yeah. Call me sidewalk because I'm coming sideways.
And y'all hit that like so people know we out here. So they can come
Yeah.
to hit that like before you leave.
Hit the like before you, yeah, definitely. All right, everybody. I'm going to hit the beat. Thank you so much for the panel. Everybody give the panel a huge hand of applause. Give yourselves a huge hand of applause because the chat was popping. Here we go. Bridget's in the house. Here we go. Oops. Why isn't that? Okay. Victorious one. It's good seeing you. I'm glad you came by. Please don't be a stranger. We have Bridget in the house. We have Tiffany Jackson in the house. We have Eden Adele in the house. Of course, on stage, we have Ghost, and we have Winter is Here. We have Susie Bear. Yes. Oh, let me go. Let me get this. Okay, here we go. Angela Reddick. Angela Reddick, thank you so much. What else? Who else is up in here? We got stars up here. Superstar Brina West in here. Tanya Sweat. T Mama. I think she went to sleep though.
This must not be copyright music, right?
It is actually.
Oh, snaps.
It is. I think that's it. Okay, I think I got everybody. Oh, Indy, Anna, Mom. Everybody, I want you to have a good night. Let this play. I think I'll just let it play till the end.
No.
Cover your ears. Cover your ears. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a good night.